Nothing like the way you treated that Outback lady.
Wow. He smacked her so hard.
What if that was another implanted memory? And we can see like a video of it when he's like, I don't mean to cause a fuss, but I did want, I wanted sugar-free tea. Is that
we did go to an Outback together once, but I don't think I was mean to any waitress.
It was at the J.R. Peters in Livonia, Georgia, that you.
Well, that's not even true. That's not even true. Yeah. No, at that point, the whole like Woody's mean to waitresses meme was like alive and
Patrick,
well and kicking. And
Patrick, I don't know if you still watch the show. I enjoyed spending that week with you out in the wilderness, but you were there and you saw what went down. I'm not sure if
it wasn't mean at all. I was even like on good behavior because I knew that they were like looking for like me to do anything that would slight this waitress.
Let me know when you're finished.
I'm done.
So anyway, Patrick, you were there with us on that day, on that evening. I'm not even going to go to Chiz because I feel like maybe somebody will feel like maybe you don't want to believe Chiz for whatever reason. But Patrick is. What do you call that when
British.
someone is unaffiliated? He is an unaffiliated third party. That's what I'm looking for.
That's true. I would like to hear Patrick's take on this.
Patrick, I would love to hear your take on Woody versus the waitress in Livonia, Georgia at, I believe it's called J.R. Peters. It's a little steak restaurant that exists there. I'd love to hear your take. I won't give mine. I won't give it. I won't give it because I just admitted that clearly my memories can be tainted. However, this is not one of those tainted memories. This is crystal clear. I remember exactly what was said. I'm pretty sure it's on video somewhere on your channel, nonetheless. And I would love to hear from you, Patrick. If someone can reach out to Patrick, I don't know if he watches the show regularly anymore or whatever. First of all, buddy, enjoyed your spending time with you. I don't know if I ever told you. Great having you on that survival trip. You were a real trooper. It was a crazy time. Thank you very much. But most of all, I really want to hear your take on what transpired that evening.
Yeah, me
I'd
too.
love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. And I'll abide by whatever he says.
That works for me too. I probably won't. I'm going to go with mine because of what he says. But yeah, I feel like I remember it really well. I wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. They were just
snapped on her.
That is so not true at all.
Like a Slim Jim.
Oh no. Here's what I was on the phone when she came I was talking to Jackie and I was like standing I wasn't by the table, but it was time to order. So I like sort of Jackie, hold on a second, didn't give her attention, ordered steak. And, I was like, I like whatever, 6-ounce filet. And then there was no hit it back. There was no nothing. And I asked, I swear as nicely as I could, I was like, are there any questions that come with that? Like sides, temperature, whatever. And, I don't know. Then I told her my sides and that was it. Like there was no conflict. There's no story. There's no thing that happened. And Kyle's laughing, but Kyle's memory is flawed.
I just admitted that I have indeed had at least one flawed memory. I thought you were on that trip. I really did. I don't know who is filling in your role in that trip, but there's an individual. But on this trip, I remember it this way. Mm-hmm. Phone was to your ear.
Yeah. And
you gave her that order like the way you described telling a barber how you want a haircut. You were like, and I want to say that she wanted to know how you wanted it cooked or something like that. And you were like, any questions?
No, no. Why would I even do that? There's no motivation for that.
How would you like your steak cooked? Look, listen, cunt.
That doesn't even make sense.
There's lots of Dude,
I have been
bring this topic up and just sit back for like 50 minutes.
Yeah, I look. I'll fully admit when I'm rude to a waitress. After that survival trip, we had a terrible waitress, and I was having a fucking meltdown. And it was because I'd spent 5 days eating very little food, dreaming about the steak that was to come. And the whole meal, there'll be a salad and there'll be blue cheese dressing and it'll be like a sweet tea because I want some sugar and I want fucking, this steak rare. And I'm going to put steak sauce on it to make it even richer. And she was fucking up and I was very rude to her. Fully admit it.
Here's how I remember that.
On purpose.
The waitress was very nice.
Is unintentionally rude.
The waitress was really nice, and I was like, cool, I understood it, and I get it. If on a scale of 1 to 10, 5 is normal delivery time, right? She was a little slower. She was like a 3. Now she was like not mean or abusive or whatever. It was just like we ordered drinks and 4 minutes have gone by or whatever. Like
The appetizers were 25 minutes late, and she was unattractive.
Don't say no more.
I don't think they were that slow.
Let me explain. This was a Texas Longhorns, I believe, in Commerce, Georgia.
Something like that,
in case
yeah.
you're curious. Full of attractive waitresses. I mean, like 95% of the waitresses in this place, you were like, oh, she's a 7+. You know, somewhere between a 7 and an 8. You know, these are all nice looking, fit young ladies between the age of like 20 and fucking 24. And here came this hog to serve us our slop. And she failed miserably at everything she did. Like I felt like I wasn't getting refills. Our appetizers were so late, and we ordered appetizers.
I don't remember her being unattractive either.
I remember that crystal clear. I remember remarking on that. I'm
envisioning meaty lips.
I remember being like, look at all the hot ladies in here. Look at every other waitress but ours. We got the single pig in the sty. Every other woman here is not just attractive, but fucking hot. Every one of these waitresses, I wish that she were giving me things. I want to talk to these ladies. And we got this hog of a cunt over here, unable to perform. I was this close to doing the most disrespectful, horrible thing I can think of doing. And that was pushing my drink off the table onto the floor and spilling it on purpose, ice, glass, straw, and full liquid, and being like, just to force her to have to show back up. It had been so long. I was so close. I was so fucking.
And I thought the whole thing was hilarious. I was patient. I didn't have any problems. Kyle's melting the freak out and
losing it.
And I thought it was.
Sometimes it's worth it having bad service if you're with someone who's having a shit fit about it, because then you get to watch it. And what
I'm sure I was entertaining possible.
The funniest
difference. What I'm trying to explain
here
is, I'll tell you when I'm being an asshole.
See, he's doing the John Jones thing, right? Like, people think I'm an asshole. I'll tell you, Kobe Covington, that's an asshole, right? Like he's trying to add credibility to him calling me an asshole by admitting that he's been one.
Perfect. I'm not perfect.
I can do the same thing.
I put up with my fair share of shit, but when that fat cunt came over there and took too long to bring my drink there, I was about to have my Secret Service killer.
This thing was all born from that dude in Chicago who took it was literally like 40 minutes to get drinks.
What an asshole.
Right? And I had a soda, but I guess other people had alcohol, and he wasn't allowed to get the alcohol, so he just held back everybody's drinks until he could get someone else. And I don't know why it takes so long to get someone to serve alcohol at a bar. I guess they mailed away for it or something. But that was a situation where I don't know if I
don't believe me, folks.
If I said anything quotable, but there was attitude behind it.
Don't believe Chiz.
We'll see what Patrick says.
Believe Patrick.
At this point, that legend had grown to the waiter I was mean to in Chicago. And it was this big thing. So we get to Georgia and they're just like waiting for it. Ooh, let's see what Woody's going to do. And he turned, I was like, like a 6-ounce sirloin or whatever. And she's not hitting it back. I'm like, are there any questions that go with that? Because I don't know if I can get back on the phone or not. And he turns it into this snappy, mean thing.
Questions?
Why would I even do that?
I don't know. We were all shocked.
Do you have any questions, man?
Patrick didn't know if he should keep recording.
I always bring my loaded gun into Long John.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see who's gaslighting us. Yeah, this is gonna be good.
I promise you. I promise you. Look. I'll abide by whatever Patrick says.
Not me. I'm sure I'm right. I'm not doing it.
I'll abide by what Patrick says, because he's the third witness who has one point of view to the one witness who has the other. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Chiz will co-sign all of this. No, Chiz isn't listening right now. Just add him right now in the chat below. What happened at J.R. Peters in Livonia? You'll get exactly what I said.
Well, but we need a neutral party.
And we're going to get one. We're going to get one in Patrick. And I'll bet cash money. I'll bet Bitcoins and gold and GP coins. These are all Tarkov items, by the way. This is a little joke for me. He's going to corroborate my side.
I think you will too. Yeah.
And look, I don't.
Not because it's true, but because he was like all excited about it on when I was there, when he was there.
So
they were all acting like I was insane. And I'm like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about. And I'm talking to Jackie and she's like, I don't know why they're.
What could this mean, Woody?
Jackie was on the phone and she's like, you didn't say or do anything either. Why are they all like,
she's
it's because
shut up, bitch.
The legend
Listen
had
to my
become
story.
the legend had become this meme at the time, and they were like hard scoping me, looking for anything to act like I was being bad. That's where it was by the time we went there.
Okay.
This is a fun topic to bring up when I want to like just chill for 15 minutes.
I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm not trying to be argumentative. I just see it like I see it. I saw it like I saw it. I know what happened.
I saw you reenact it. Any questions? It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all.
Snap. There was this
questions.
There was this abruptness, this
wasn't.
rudeness, and she was like, ah! She recoiled, and that's a joke.
Questions?
That's me joking. Yes. She didn't recoil. She didn't look like she was afraid, but she was like, like everybody.
There was a weird like social thing that happened there because I ordered whatever 6-inch sirloin. Maybe I gave medium rare, and then there was no you couldn't even tell if she had heard me. It just sort of emptied into this like vacuum, and that's when I was like, "Are there any like follow up questions?"
Started building.
No, I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. I just didn't know if I was done ordering. And you guys can imagine, put yourself in this situation. Like when you if you order a Big Mac, then you know where that ends, right? I want a Big Mac, I want a drink, I want a small fry, and like you've given your order. If you order a steak and you say I want a steak and I want it, medium rare, and then they don't have then it just ends there.
And what would you like your side to be? Is usually
sure, or what 6 or 8 ounce, right? Might be another question they could ask, or I just don't know if I'm done ordering or not. And I asked her if there were any questions or any follow-up questions or something like that. But I didn't yell at her. I wasn't mad at her. I wasn't angry. Like I was having a fine day. Like everything was normal and okay. It's just that I put my order for a steak in, and there's usually some sort of follow-up, like hit it back, and it's that's how it goes. And I swear, what's happening? This is true, people. I was mean to a waiter in Chicago, and it turned into this like legend of Woody the staff abuser, and
it's not limited to these 2 events.
It is.
I don't know what other events we're told.
I don't know. I'm afraid there's another one out there, though.
Now Woody's like, yes, it is. I'm almost. I'm. You know what?
Yes, it is. I'm like 30% sure. That's just those 2.
Now you got a Hillary Clinton your way through this. You're like, I do not recall that specifically.
Right. It's gonna not testify at all.
Yeah, just not testify. I do not recall. I do not recall.
You mean like with a cloth?